Hello, Paul. Scott from HeyUGuys. Lovely to see you.
Nice
I'm
to see
all
you.
right. Congratulations on the nominations.
Thank you very much. Don't get carried away.
Don't get too carried away. Yeah, winning.
Congratulations on your 12 awards at the Oscar. I mean, we're not allowed to say that, but they are coming.
But a lot of people would say Paddington 2 should probably win a lot of awards.
Absolutely, I would definitely say that. I'm rampantly biased.
I can imagine there was trepidation going into the first movie, let alone going into a sequel. I mean, how did you approach the sequel in the first instance? Did you think we're going to go bigger, or was it more about let's delve a bit more into the characters and everything else?
I mean, there's not a great track record of amazing sequels out there, and I think we watched a lot. Simon and I watched all of the sequels that we could lay our hands on, and sort of tried to avoid some of the pitfalls, which seemed to be kind of effectively pressing reset on all the characters and trying to tell the same story again. And the ones that really worked for us, the sort of Toy Story 2s and the Godfather 2s, it sounds like ridiculous comparisons, but you sort of go, well, what do they do with this character that makes me want to watch Godfather 2? And you go, well, you delve deeper into his character and you try to find the next chapter of the journey. And likewise with Toy Story 2, which I think is the paragon of children's sequels, is you go, it doesn't just feel like Toy Story 1, like Woody and Buzz aren't going to fall out again and have difficulties. They're going to come to terms with a different issue. So really we started looking at where Paddington would go. This is a very long answer, but and so we sort of started thinking about him as a kind of, in the first film he found a home and a family, but he really didn't know the wider street. He didn't know the wider community of London, and just because he sort of chanced on one nice family didn't sort of mean the rest of the world was going to embrace him. So then we started thinking about him going to the community, and that took us to thinking about Frank Capra films, and then we suddenly began to feel like we had the backbone of a movie that could kind of be a film within its own right that you don't need to watch the first one for.
Absolutely. I mean, the reaction to the movie was massive. I mean, you had huge box office, you had amazing, lots of people give Film of the Year and everything else. I mean, were you prepared for that, for the sequel? Because a lot of people would say to you, diminishing returns, everything else, but you got even better reviews than you did in the first one.
I suppose you've no idea how people are going to react. We just sort of did our best, really, and hope for the best. I suppose the first one, in a way, you kind of wondered whether the expectations were quite low because there's not a kind of grand history of rebooted children's characters from your childhood. Like the reaction's quite often not so positive because you feel something's been spoilt or lost in translation, and so we were sort of expecting the worst, and then things were really nice, and so this time we worried there might be a kind of, actually I've had a second thought and it was rubbish after all. So it's very nice that people seem to have embraced it. It's incredibly lovely.
I can imagine now that you've obviously, now the dust is settling a little bit. The thoughts will obviously go to a third movie. I mean, are you prepared for a third one? Is that something that you'd want to do if the opportunity?
I think we would love to do one as a group. How that happens is hard to say because they're sort of quite hard to come up with the stories, and there's tons of raw material in the Michael Bond books, but they're not. They tend to be quite short stories. They're not sort of overarching narratives, and so trying to find something like that we feel is worth making is going to be a challenge. But certainly we're going to have conversations about seeing if we can find something.
Absolutely. Let's hope.
Fingers crossed.
Listen, I wish you luck tonight, mate. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys.
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey!